1995. It's a Halloween special. It's Halloween. And goodness gracious, I have seen a lot of films in the horror genre from the year I was born. There's a lot of ground to cover here. Movies of the spooky variety to review, even with the omissions I made because, sometimes horror and sci-fi be sleeping in the same bed. Yeah, I'm only including horror that has a bit of that Halloween smell to it. Spooky dooky horror. So without further ado, it's spooky time. And oh yeah, disclaimer, if I missed one, then that probably means the RNG didn't tell me to see it yet, so better luck next year.
A classic horror series returns. Get ready for an unforgettable ride into terror. He was a mysterious drifter.
Hello, I'm Ted Smith. Well, a fellow down in Yucca Valley told me there was a job going here, so I came up.
Looking to start over.
We don't pay much, but you can have some food and a place to sleep.
It's the best offer I've had to date.
But behind the easy smile.
Everything according to plan. Now I gotta find out about the town before they find out about me.
And beneath his gentle touch.
He planned that well, didn't he?
Bonnie, you make him sound like such a schemer.
Hid a strange and dangerous secret.
1987, when the killing started, Ted, the only Australian, became the fall guy, and he was never seen again.
Now,
one guy comes up missing, one guy turns up dead. Who's involved? Ted.
Hold it right there.
In a town where no one is who they seem.
This place was actually a colony for werewolves.
The moon rises.
The werewolf will be able to take over the body of another person.
The devil shows its face. And no one can escape the howling. Howling 7.
Okay, so Howling 7 New Moon Rising is a bit of a notoriously reviled film, for many reasons that I will get into, but I'm not sure I'll cover all of them. Now, the very first thing I need to let those of you who've seen Howling 7 know is that this movie was my entry point. My introduction to the entire Howling franchise. So you can only imagine my surprise when what is supposed to be the 7th film in a franchise has barely decipherable dialogue that I can barely hear sometimes, inexplicable square dancing, and long, confusing exposition dumps that contain flashbacks to previous films in the franchise that look infinitely better than the movie I am currently watching. Movies I could be watching instead. See, I'm already getting upset. Let me say that it's ranked 277 before I continue. Okay, now I'm continuing. Howling New Moon Rising is allegedly a movie about an Australian guy who shows up in small town California, and then werewolf slayings start happening, and we gotta find the werewolf. Sounds like a normal horror movie, right? Well, I feel like I'm lying to you. I feel like I lied. Because what actually happens is he hangs out in this one bar every night and tells painfully bland fart jokes and does square dancing. He does so much square dancing, like a mind-numbing amount of square dancing. And everyone in this town, they're sitting around, no sense of urgency. Meanwhile, the detective is talking to the werewolfologist in one of the longest, most convoluted exposition dumps in cinema history. There are many more elements I can complain about that are entirely antithetical to what this movie promises to be, like the lackluster werewolf attacks and the lackluster werewolf costume that we only see one time and the literal absence of a final showdown with the werewolf, but that would take all day, and we have very, very slightly more important matters to discuss. If I were to say one good thing about this movie at gunpoint, I guess it would be that at least it seems like they had a good time just hanging out and making a movie. If it weren't the 7th in a franchise of movies that are real movies, I'd probably be able to be even nicer to it. Or maybe not. What I described is also essentially what Night of the Living Dead is, so there's no excuse. Yeah, so this one is ranked 276. Yeah, I started with the number right away because it's literally the next best movie after Howling New Moon Rising, which is the most minuscule improvement possible. I don't like Vampire Vixens from Venus, and I'm not sorry about it, and here's why. Simply put, it's one of those self-aware trash movies that is self-aware about being a trash movie while simultaneously believing in the trash it's delivering a little too genuinely. This is usually an issue that is often run into with straight-to-VH movies designed to, celebrate the female form. And all too often, these films don't know enough about women or people in general to properly toe the line that's a very fine line between kooky and creepy. The only reason I think this one's better than New Moon Rising is because it doesn't spit in the face of what it promises to make boring fart jokes. You might still get a boring joke, but it will be related to the story at hand. This movie is still a major drag, though, and don't mistake the fact that I see it having the most basic plot progression for joy. It is simply the one thing that makes it not the movie below it and nothing more. Oh, I forgot to say what this one's about. Do I need to? It's basically the title. Aliens show up and try to take over the world by catfishing men, and they have cloaking devices to do it. Lazy eroticism ensues.
Hi, Leslie. It's Wanda. Hi. How would you like to come over? You mean tonight? Wear your best outfit.
Rule number 1. Always expect the unexpected.
Not everyone has what it takes to be one of us.
I don't even know you.
I'm the devil.
If you're the devil, wear your horns.
Wonders of modern cosmetics. No.
Never ever leave a geek's car parked outside. People passing might get the wrong idea.
You have no idea how long I've been looking for you.
Do you understand?
See for yourself.
Wickedness has its own reward.
Hello?
What's the trouble?
I'm not getting mixed up in any murder. This has really ruined my evening.
Huh? You'll never scare me like that again.
Do we call the police?
No police. Police scenes are boring.
2 people are dead!
What do you expect? You're running with a tough crowd.
One of us in this room is a monster.
No.
Hey, what? Gotta go.
As As you can tell from the laziness of the editing for this trailer, Witch Academy is not the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to movies. One could even say it's borderline no different than Vampire Vixens from Venus and be basically correct. But unlike those beneath it, this film does have some elements of it that are, and there's really no other way to describe them, campy. Where other films are bad, this film is also bad. But there's a hint of whimsy between the long, boring bits. So what's this Rank 270 movie about anyways? Well, it's not about a witch academy at all, so forget those hopes and dreams. No, the devil shows up in the basement of a sorority house and kidnaps the nerdy new one, and it's all like, "It is time. Take off your glasses and let down your hair." And a bunch of antics happen that aren't irrelevant, but are also antics I don't care about. Yeah, this one's also real lazy in the ways I expected it to be, but barely eliciting genuine chuckles that I was supposed to laugh at makes it a not insignificant improvement. In summary, I enjoyed the parts with the brass knuckles lady, and there weren't many parts that had the brass knuckles lady.
We can rebuild him. We can make him stronger, better, and half werewolf. Kim Delaney, the sci-fi premiere of Project Metal Beast, tonight at 9 on Sci-Fi.
Project Metal Beast is one of those werewolf monster movies that has some really fun and entertaining and, dare I say, freaking cool werewolf monster action. These parts alone were cool enough to allow it to sit at rank 255. Unfortunately, they only happen in the beginning and the end of the movie. That middle? My goodness, that was painful to apathetically sit through. How can that be true? Well, here's the plot. Project Metal Beast is about some guy who injects himself with the werewolf juice and goes crazy to the point where the CIA has to suspend and animate his tuchus. And then his boss, who is out of his mind in his own way, is all like, "Let's bring him back as a war weapon. Let's thaw out the mass-murdering cyborg werewolf boy who killed my other subordinates 20 years ago." And if I recall correctly, the entire middle part of this movie is mostly these people arguing about the risks of Rock Werewolf Boy, I think. Again, the middle was so absurdly boring that I'm not sure if I could properly recall it, even if I was watching it right now.
There are no bad days here at Wishing Well, only happy days.
Open wide, Gregory.
It is a happy day. Now he's out, rehabilitated with a brand new job.
Here you go.
I'd like to buy a gallon of your, hard pack.
Next. You didn't say please.
Did you see little Roger Smith today?
He was at the park. Why?
We got a missing kid.
His ice cream has a secret ingredient.
What the hell is that ice cream dork doing out this late?
What's your favorite flavor?
Wow. Always so kind to the little children.
I brought you something special.
Ooh, sounds yummy.
There's something weird going on here.
Hiya, honey. Not every day is a happy day.
Spent the last 20 at some private clinic called Wishing Well for the Mentally Disturbed.
We believe in compassion.
Shut up!
We're at the Wishing Well Hospital. Get some people down here quick.
No one leaves the Wishing Well. Doctor's orders!
Even with a head start, there's no escape. You can run, but you can't hide from the Ice Cream Man.
Let us pray.
Starring Olivia Hussey, Jan Michael Vincent, Sandal Bergman, David Naughton, David Warner, and Clint Howard as the Ice Cream Man.
This is gonna be fun.
Ice Cream Man is a whole mess. A self-aware, funny, amusing mess, but still a lot of mess. In fact, I think the film pushes the wacky envelope too far to the point of meaning nothing, and it doesn't do anything really to earn that chaos. It just kind of throws a whole chaos tantrum and leaves the audience to pick up the pieces, so that's why it's ranked 237. But what's it about? Well, it's about an ice cream man who kills the men and the women and the children because he actually broke out of a bizarre asylum that gives off the Cat in the Hat, the movie energy. The movie's just bananas. I mean, you saw the trailer. They put a child in a fat suit and named him Tuna. Like, why? Why? These are choices, but I don't know. Why? Why, you know? Even with all of its kookiness, it doesn't do a good job of managing the timing of the chaos, so it just kind of left me mostly confused by the end. This film is severely lacking in clarity, okay? Okay?
From Wes Craven, creator of Wes Craven's Nightmare. In here, underground, deep beneath the surface.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Joanne.
Oh, you're awfully chipper this morning, Rob.
Work has already begun on an experimental cure.
We're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Breakthrough. You ask me, our friend in there is in a world of pain.
His body's accepting the virus.
A project destined to change the future of mankind itself.
He's always got a heartbeat.
He's supposed to be tough.
Stay in there, big guy.
But nobody here knows how the virus works better than yourself. He's gonna die if you don't come.
The only mistake they made was coming back to help.
What is this place?
It's an old nuclear test facility we revamped and took over.
Oh my God.
I quit because of this.
They set out to create the first super soldier, but instead they unleashed a monster.
Goddamn, where's the backup?
Where the hell did he go?
Shut up. He can't get out.
This is a code red, ladies and gentlemen. I repeat.
A mind ripper.
Oh my God.
Now get us out of here right now. Alex, let's go. Coming in there.
We're just supposed to wait here for him to come and tear our brains out?
That's what it does. It kills.
In here, the fear is contagious. And there's no cure for the terror. Mind Ripper. Lance Henriksen. Claire Stansfield. Natasha Wagner. John Deal. Wes Craven presents Mind Ripper. Live in horror. Die in fear.
Mind Ripper is one of those movies where the things that are supposed to happen for the most part. The characters are behaving significantly more like characters in a movie are expected to than the previous entries. And that's probably a good thing because it lets me know that this film knows how to do what traditionally works. But it still kinda doesn't work. So that's why it's ranked 220. The plot is similar to many plots of this kind. We did experiment. It did not go well. Now experiment is awake. We're locked in the middle of the desert. It is in the vents. Things are not going well. The practical effects are kind of cool at best. The experiment man doesn't feel or look menacing, like, at all for the most part. He's just bald Tarzan with a mouth in his mouth. And I'm still mad about that one scene where they're running around scared and open a door and are attacked by falling radioactive barrels for absolutely no reason. Like, this isn't Donkey Kong. What is this Looney Tunes nonsense? Who put those barrels there, bro? So yeah, I question its cinematic merit, but you know, it's something to put on. If every horror movie were some cinematic triumph, we wouldn't have any horror movies to just put on the background during your Halloween party. It's good to have those. This is one of those, okay? Next. There isn't really a clip from Faces of Death 5 that I can put here and also believe it's a good idea to put here, and that's what Faces of Death is kind of all about. I already reviewed this in my physical copies video, but it's rank 219 right now, and I basically think the series represents an interesting shift in the thought behind the execution of body horror and practical effects as they play with the line of the physical realness and the fantastical scripted tragedy sold as, for lack of better words, found footage. But Faces of Death 5 was literally just a lazy whimper of a dying series. Yeah, I acknowledge and respect the contribution to the art of the series, but the movie itself is a stupid best hits movie, you know?
晏晝要開會啊，咪早啲嚟整下頭髮啦。好啊，呢邊啊。Hello， hello。呢度。俾杯嘢你飲，唔該。咩事啊？冇事啦，頭先有隻鬼仔跟住你，而家俾我趕走咗啦。你唔好嚇我啊！我哋泰國人從來都唔會攞降頭呢啲嘢嚟開玩笑。我話俾你聽，我都係降頭師。
How does The Eternal Evil of Asia count as an American movie? Tai Seng Video Marketing. Enough said. I might make a whole video about them one day. Anyways, this rank 191 movie is off the wall. Like Hong Kong off the wall. The antics are wildly creative. I mean, yes, the plot is mostly a typical horror plot. 4 dude bro friends go to Thailand on vacation, and it's a bro vacation where we do hedonism, and they kill some lady on accident, and that lady's brother is a sorcerer, and a very creative sorcerer, the kind of sorcerer who remembers to put the private parts on his voodoo dolls, and he's a bit of a creep too. The humor is very childish, like childish to the point of being subversive in a way because the absurdity is just so out there, you know? I love and respect the sheer audacity and gusto of this movie, but I also don't think it did the best job of balancing the real horror of the toxic masculinity that it's commenting on. Yes, this movie does do that, whether it knows it or not, with the outrageousness. And this isn't really a pick one or the other complaint, it's more of a find your balance suggestion. I do recommend the movie if you're here for creatively executed supernatural chaos. You'll just have a fair amount of weird 2000s CW strangely wet dark hallway cinematography to contend with is all. Okay, so I'm not going to throw a trailer in for this rank 186 movie either because I already covered it in my erotic thriller video, so if you want my take on it, it is there. What I will say is that I think Embrace of the Vampire is much more successful as an erotic thriller than a horror movie, primarily because it focuses much more on the fear of collegiate infidelity in relation with sexual expression than it does, like, vampires. Don't get me wrong, it still very much does vampires, but, like, the more interesting parts of this movie are the parts where visions and manipulations are happening to good old Alyssa Milano.
For centuries, they have roamed the earth. Fearsome creatures of the night, endlessly seeking to satisfy an unyielding hunger. Now, the world's last vampire is about to encounter something infinitely more terrifying than himself. Brooklyn.
Interesting. I've been stabbed, and I've been hanged. Even broken on the rack once, but I've never been shot before. It kind of itches a little.
Paramount Pictures presents...
No! If you're hungry, I'll run you down to KFC down the street and hit you off with a 2-piece.
I already had Italian.
Eddie Murphy.
Do I look like I would bite you?
Angela Bassett.
You bet not. Not after the day I've had.
Eddie Murphy.
Everything! Come on! Move it! Yeah, right. There's a lot of love in this room. Look at this.
And Eddie Murphy.
Bottom line, brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to tell you tonight is that evil is good. Let me hear y'all say it. Evil is good. That's right.
If he fails here,
Quickest way to a woman's heart is through the church.
It's actually through the rib cage, but that's a bit messy.
being undead
You got the dropsies.
won't be worth living.
I'm a cop. If you try anything funny, I'll shoot you.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
I would love to have you for dinner.
Eddie Murphy, what were you doing? Like, what were you thinking, bro? You saw the trailer. You saw what Eddie was up to in this movie. I really want the movie of the making of Vampire in Brooklyn because Wes Craven was there dealing with 90s Eddie Murphy, who is still a bit of a diva at this point, but is also steadily trailing towards his career nadir. I mean, it's fine. Whoopi's going through it too. I mean, look at Theodore Rex. Anyways, let's not get sidetracked. This Rank 162 movie is a hot mess, okay? I mean, not in a lose the plot entirely kind of way, but in a bizarre tangent way. Like, the movie itself seems to go on bizarre comedic tangents, some funnier than others, and it's one of those situations where you're watching Eddie Murphy do all this stuff, and you're like, okay, who's in charge here? This movie is the equivalent of that kid who enters your bodega and starts stealing bags of chips to see how you'll react, and it's 11:30 a.m. and their butt needs to be in school. Vampire in Brooklyn is not a performance failure. I mean, Queen Angela is here. It's simply a structural mess. It's like a modern SNL sketch. You know, the ones that last for a very long time and then they couldn't come up with a good punchline, so they bring in the dancing lobsters. Man, I'm off the rails here, but SNL is in desperate need of a pack of dancing lobsters to show up every time they can't finish a sketch. Just make it a running gag, it'll work. Next slide.
There's a little bit of me in that machine, and a little bit of it in me.
There was an accident today. The worst one I've ever seen.
Have you considered the possibility that the machine might be haunted?
That machine killed your daughter. We all have to make sacrifices.
Human sacrifices. A demon is a kind of electricity. Sometimes it gets out of control. People get hurt.
3 modern masters of horror have just created the ultimate machine for terror. The Mangler.
Things start to get fun with The Mangler. I like The Mangler. The Mangler's alright. The Mangler is one of those situations where the movie itself isn't much of a formula breaker. Perhaps it's because it's a Stephen King adaptation. What do I mean by that? I mean, well, you know, it's got a little bit of a psychic vibe to it, a cinematic sheen that says weird things are guaranteed. I think Stephen King likes psychics. But yeah, this Rank 143 movie's got Freddy Scissorhands playing some factory owner, and he's like, who is the king of the laundromat? I am the king of the laundromat. And all these people are working at this laundromat, and there's this big old laundry machine that, like, it gets hungry, and it starts eating the people. And it's a really fun time, because everyone's like, please help, the laundry machine is eating people. And then it grows legs, and you see the legs. It's so much fun. It's so much fun, dude, but its formulaicness does prevent it from meeting its full potential. This concept is much better as an artsy-fartsy film than the standard fare that it is.
Only in death, Griffin must die. Is there resurrection? You have 3 nights to complete your task, and forever is yours. And the Sandman is here for life. Now time is running out.
Why are you doing this?
And Griffin must come to terms with the Sandman. He is evil incarnate. No soul, no spark left in him. He cannot go on until you die. 3 people are dead. Do you know what they all have in common? You. Only one person believes in his innocence. With nowhere to run, together they face unimaginable powers of evil, spirited by a minion of the dark side.
Hey, this guy is out there. You really know how to tell a story, kid.
Evil never dies. It just waits to be reborn. It's bedtime. Sleep, stalker.
Sleep, baby, sleep. Down where the wood burns green. Sorry, I can't help myself. This movie does not deserve that song. Anyways, this movie is garbage, but it is exactly in that sweet spot of lovable garbage. You feel me? It's rank 136 because the writing is trash, but not trash enough for it to matter. And it's also in that low budget sweet spot where it's a mix between looking like a CW show and looking like it's a student film. And it's got that perfect corniness about it. As for the plot, come on now. It's about the Sandman. He's sandy, he's sleepy, he just got out of prison, and he's killing people. I mean, he's a serial killer looking for the one that got away because of some contract with some voodoo man, but you know, don't pay attention to that. Just eat your broccoli. Eat it.
Watch over this as you have watched over me.
William and Amanda, meet your new boy.
Just thought I'd bring a taste of home.
I offer this to he who walks behind the rose.
Oh, that's just an old abandoned factory, but it's not really safe. That's why we built this fence in front of the wall.
Can I get a kiss?
You know, where did you get this? Feel the texture. It's tough, almost like fabric, but it's not porous enough. It's almost impossible to penetrate. A strain with immunity to bugs and pesticide, and a 4-week period from planting to harvest. Regardless, you're holding a fortune in your hands, Charles. You know, this strain could be exported to people all over the world. I need thy help now to end this madness. Who the hell are you?
You knew who I was from the moment you laid eyes on me.
You doll? The creatures passed through 19th here. They are.
What happened to my father? Back in Gatlin, what did you do to him? Does anyone have any questions?
I didn't think so.
Bless my Lord Ashton!
Let the harvest begin.
Children of the Corn 3 Urban Harvest? More like Corn Child 3 Pig in the City. Yeah, this one really is not about any children who seem to be of the corn. No, this Rank 132 movie is about these two children who get adopted from the corn and end up in the city of Chicago. And they just start being really disrespectful. And it just keeps getting worse. Like, they're out here talking to the corn, and the corn is killing people who are just trying to go to church in peace. The effects in this movie are crazy. The children in this movie, crazy. If you want to sit down with this movie, you gotta be ready for some style over substance escalation to the moon. This movie's really fun, but you're going to be asking the question why a lot.
Place your bets, place your bets. Now accepting wagers for Kyle Baxter, virtual reality god. Shoot!
Evolver defeated.
Kyle Baxter, you are the winner of the Evolver Home Contest. You did? Wow.
It looks like you won.
Hello, I am Evolver.
Need another player or something.
Okay, this is too intense.
Evolver ready to play.
Each time Evolver is defeated, he evolves up to the next level.
Bullseye.
Evolver hates to lose.
Infiltrate. Attack. Need more power.
Where he gets smarter, quicker, and harder to beat.
Now. Hey, Evolver. What's sword?
Strategic war-oriented robotic device.
This thing is destroying my house.
Interesting design glitch.
Advancing to next level.
I think there's something wrong with the Evolver.
Let's play!
This toy acts like it's playing for keeps.
I don't think you get how dangerous this thing could be. Come on.
Kyle, we cannot beat this thing.
Need more power.
Allie! Gotta get help!
Come on, man, play with me.
Play with me.
I don't think so.
I think it wants to kill you.
My goodness, I love Evolver. They're just a little generative AI robot playing with you in your house. But you left the war movie on the TV. You left some marbles on the floor. Wally, put that down. Wally, don't do that. Don't do it, little boy. Yeah, Rank 199, and I love it. It's small. It's corny, but the killer robot is voiced by William H. Macy. It's just a tiny robot William H. Macy cussing at you at the dinner table. I mean, what more could you ask for? Well, if you think Disney Channel vibes are supposed to never be horror movie vibes, this movie will either prove you right or change your mind. It really feels like a Disney Channel movie, but it's rated R.
Oh my God, it's been an accident. Is my wife hurt?
She was supposed to arrive last night, never showed up. Hi.
Come on, come in the house. I'll bet you're hungry.
Oh my God.
Georgina has it in her head, but you are her sister.
I really need to see your husband, okay?
Roy's working on your car.
Don't lock me in this room. I'll do anything you want. But you gotta let me out. Gotta see my little girl.
Just let me out of this house!
Got your trace back on your suspected family slayer.
Was it a woman with a little child, a little girl?
Mr. Scudder told her to take Old Highway 50.
What makes you think you're gonna find your wife and your daughter around my dirty old garage?
Hey, Samantha!
It's better to forget about the past.
Put it on. Put it on now. Pleasure is the only thing to live for.
leave too soon?
Okay, so yeah, Burt freaking Reynolds is some creepy dad man, and the gas station attendants are incredibly incompetent, and he kidnaps some lady, right, and locks her in a room, and his wife is also in that house, and the arguments they have are just absolutely perplexing. Like, they're crazy people. He's a crazy person. Yeah, this Rank 118 movie is fun, man. It's a hot freaking mess. It is narratively hanging on by a thread, bro. The movie's got jokes too, but it has no reason to be having jokes like that. It's perplexing. I love it.
A man whose only belief,
psychic phenomenon, does it exist,
is in the science of reason.
Your book denies its existence. There are no ghosts.
Has been invited.
They will want you to come and investigate.
To a house of mystery.
Nanny is convinced that Mother comes back here every night. There are spirits in this house. Do you think she's imagining everything?
Don't you?
To explain how illusions...
You're awfully brave.
...can seem to be real.
You feel you don't know how to explain anything, do you?
I wonder how I could have gone so long without you.
To accept that the dead...
You mean to tell me that you see nothing?
...can come back to life.
You're my salvation. I beg you.
I don't trust anyone or anything in this house.
Once you've seen through his eyes, you will believe. Haunted.
Die for me, David.
Okay, so I know the title of this movie is Haunted, but I'm telling you, there isn't enough room for the horror. Why? Because Kate Beckinsale is here, and she doesn't want to be in a horror movie. She wants to dress up like Cruella de Vil and dance in the ballroom and seduce you into pushing her on the swings. So yes, it's Rank 116, and it really is a close to the top 100 situation because the ghost story is quite solid, if typical, and the way the ghostly events were staged was like totally radical. Very cool stuff going on here, even if Kate Beckinsale is trying to sabotage the whole genre as it's happening.
It's dead.
What are we gonna do?
Look, there's a house with a light on.
Look familiar.
I'm Dr. Victor Frankenstein. This human refuse is my assistant, Igor.
Well, look again.
Master, the bridge has washed out. It's gone.
No, not again.
Have to spend the night. You'll have to spend the night.
And the doctor's home just happens to be full of his favorite guests. Dracula and his wife.
Before this night is through, we both will be satisfied. Cross my heart and hope to live. We're having Scott and Mary for dinner.
The Wolfman.
Men are such dogs.
You can say that again.
Men are such dogs.
And his mom. The doctor's creation.
I am surrounded by idiots.
And Elvis. And his manager.
Dr. Victor Frankenstein, I presume.
And they all have but one desire.
Need to sacrifice a virgin completely.
Now, question these guests are taken.
Will Dr. Frankenstein
Put the helmet on the boy.
steal Scott's brain? Will Natasha lose her husband to the Virgin Mary?
2 words? Say a word? Sounds like.
Will Igor decipher what the monster is trying to say? Will Scott and Mary ever be free from this hilarious house of horrors? Frankenstein Sings, the movie.
We got those old infinity, immortality, all eternity blues.
Knockout old Drackie is back.
Okay, so what we have here is a movie musical based off the song Monster Mash, and the Monster Mash guy is in the movie as Dr. Frankenstein, and it's just corny old Halloween at its corny old Halloweeniest, and it's a perfectly average stage musical structure. But I mean, this Rank 113 movie is still just plainly, absolutely perfect for the occasion of Halloween. Like, you can literally put it on in the background of any Halloween party, and all your little friends can show up and see the Monster Mash and be like, yeah man, Halloween, Graveyard Smash, Garuga Mash.
I will talk to you of art, for there is nothing else. Life is nothing but a homeless traveler on the RTD of art.
At the Jabberjaws, the artiste and the as yet undiscovered gather to soak up life.
Walter, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, Mr.
Don't be sorry, be a busboy.
Are you a poet, too?
No, he's just a busboy.
But Walter is desperately seeking his muse.
The super sealed up that hole in the wall.
Old Walter's gonna get you out of there.
As is often the case, a tragic accident can free the mind for creativity to blossom.
You made that? Oh, what's it called?
Dead cat.
If it sells, we'll split it 50-50. How's that?
I guess I am an artist after all. What's next, dead dog?
I want the cat. I'll give you $5,000.
I'm an artist. A professional artist!
What are you gonna make next, Walter?
So shut up. I already have a new one.
What is it called?
Murdered Man.
But in art, as in life, one must continue to grow.
Ma'am, this is heavy. Yeah, what is this, murdered elephant?
I'm looking for something for my den. Something unusual. Something... je ne sais quoi.
Do you know what that means?
Anthony Michael Hall.
I made them immortal.
Justine Bateman.
Get away from me, Walter!
The Death Artist.
You would have called it Hanging Man.
Okay, so The Death Artist and or A Bucket of Blood is a remake of a more famous A Bucket of Blood, and it just so happens to be obscure enough to only have been seen by the fans of the original. So a lot of the reviews have been like, oh, the original is so much funnier. This movie is bad. Well, I think that is nonsense. Pure tomfoolery. What y'all don't understand is that a remake does not have to reflect the narrative style of the original era it's from. Like, this movie is very funny, as well as the cultural criticism of the weird 90s beatniks, and you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about, hello, I'm wearing a beret, and my entire personality is smooth by Satana. Yeah, it's a strange little Rank 106 dark comedy, but I love it. It stands on its own. It's also like one of the only captured occurrences of Will Ferrell doing a mellow, toned down comedic performance. Roger Corman did good here producing this one. This one was a good one. It's a dark comedy that's also whimsical. Check it out.
Something is watching. Something is listening. Something is coming.
How would you like to see the world the way it really is?
What's going on here?
Detective Harry Damour is walking a path.
I want you to help me. Will you take the job, Mr. Damour?
Where do I sign up?
Between what can be seen.
People are dying here. I want to know why. I've heard a name. Somebody they talk about in whispers. Who? Nix.
And what must be feared.
Nix is dead and buried. What the hell is wrong with you people?
Haven't you seen enough to know that doesn't matter?
Now.
I don't want him getting in the way. The ball was waited too long to have the homecoming spoiled.
Every step he takes.
The drone to the dark side. You don't like that.
Not much.
It's your destiny.
accepted.
Brings him closer to the truth.
You could get into people's heads, make them see things. Terrible things.
See, that's his best trick. No illusions, just the truth.
If Nix is back from the dead, then he is some kind of a god.
In a world where magic is real, death is the ultimate illusion.
I was born to murder the world. Are you ready for my wisdom?
It's not real.
Stop looking at me!
Next! You want to come with me, Damour? I've got so much power to give you. All you have to do is beg.
Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions.
Okay, so Lord of Illusions is just like so freaking cool. Oh my goodness. It's about a magician, and he's a devil, and he has a whole frat house with minions and stuff. Yeah, it's rank 83. I mean, look at those practical effects. It's distracted by its own coolness to the point of none of it making sense, but it's so freaking cool, man.
At precisely 10 a.m., in a quiet seaside village, something happened. Something unexplainable. Something unbelievable.
There's a lot of pregnancies, much more than would normally be expected. All the pregnancies seem to date from the day of the blackout.
Oh no.
Now, this town is about to discover that looks can kill.
There have been a few casualties. I should say accidents that might be related to contact with the children.
My daughter was involved. Who are they?
They have one mind that they share between them.
Father?
Let us pray.
You've been discussing us with Dr. Vern. What did she tell you? You're hiding something.
The police can't do anything to stop the children.
Get out while you can.
There's something so much more powerful than we'll ever be.
What are you gonna do?
The only thing that we can do.
You can't stop us, you know. Don't try.
Okay, so this one is another remake, but like, it's a fascinating film. It's a John Carpenter remake. Yeah, The Thing guy. So the horror here is also very magical and science fiction-y. It's like rank 60, and it's a full-on coming-of-age horror movie where the monsters are the ones coming of age and the children are too strong. Superman's here, Kirstie Alley's here. Sure, it's not maximum Carpenter, but it's a very, very thoughtful horror movie, and that really makes it stand out.
Stuart Gordon, the director of Fortress, The Pit and the Pendulum, and Reanimator, takes you into the dungeons of Castle d'Orsino. Now an American family
Welcome to Castle Riley, lady.
will inherit a legacy of evil.
They say the castle is haunted.
and a master of modern horror. Will unleash his most terrifying creation. Stuart Gordon's Castle Freak.
There's somebody else here! There's somebody in the castle!
We want you to search the castle. Giorgio Dorsino. He was never buried. She kept him alive. He's here somewhere in the castle. There is a madman in there, but my family is in danger.
Reanimators Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton in Stuart Gordon's Castle Freak.
Okay, now Castle Freak is about this family, right? And they go on vacation to Italy, bro. And this mansion they're staying at is spooky because there's a dungeon and there's a freaky little castle freak down there who eats flesh. Yeah, it's rank 50, man. It's just so exquisitely gothic with just the right amount of gimmick, you know? It's so cleanly done. You could just do a whole study on the physicality of the freak. It's so good.
Universal Pictures is proud to present the motion picture directing debut of one of America's most talented and respected artists.
Cut! Cut, 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 cut! Oh, hello, kiddies. So glad you could join me. Your pal, the Crypt Keeper, has gone Hollywood in a big way. I'm directing my first feature film. Care for a little Shriek preview? For my big screen premiere, I wanted lots of suspense. Uh-oh. Special effects, sex, violence. The kind of thing you could really sink your teeth into. Hi! Frights! Camera! Action! It's about a chase through the ages. A race against time. The war between good and evil.
Come on out, everybody! It's time to play!
And the final battle between man...
I'm sorry.
...and demon.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I lied.
It stars Billy Zane from Dead Calm, William Sadler from Die Hard 2, and Jada Pinkett from Menace to Society. Ooh, I love those titles. And you'll love Demon Knight.
They're here! The demons are here!
And ladies, if you think Demon Knight is too gross and yucky...
Whoa!
Thank you.
And things are only getting better. Demon Knight is this amazing tale from the crypt. It's got Jada, who does a great job here. It's got Billy Zane, and Billy Zane goes rank 42 crazy. Like, Billy Zane goes full Cat in the Hat here, and it is absolutely glorious. It was so creatively done, and like, even the concept, it's just so cool.
For 100 years, he has wandered the halls of Whipstaff Manor. Waiting for someone.
There's a girl on my bed. Yes. Hi.
Casper.
Can you go invisible? That one's easy.
Now, life at Whipstaff Manor
Can I keep you?
will never be the same.
Cool.
Ghosts can't hurt you.
Yes, again, bone bag!
Don't come near me, you spiteful spook! We share haunting stories, we throw parties.
The parties are always pretty dead, though.
I feel like Oprah on hiatus.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
We have company.
Well, company loves misery. Phone, take a hike.
Get a grade. Dad.
Oh, one for all. Catch your pants before they fall.
You guys are disgusting, obnoxious creeps.
Thank you.
Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment.
Are we scary or what?
Invite you on a wild, wondrous ride
Hurry up, come on.
to the other side.
Smell it, ma'am.
Casper.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I love live-action Casper, and Christina Ricci is just being a little rapscallion. It's a rank 41 blockbuster. It's the 8th highest grosser of the year, and it's a movie you can bring the children to, and they can learn about grief while having a laugh.
Let's roll, bud.
In this neighborhood is a house where souls never rest. You're invited to share their secrets.
I've been waiting for you boys.
You're invited to share their tales.
Unless, of course, you're scared.
Tales of madness. Of revenge.
The dolls don't want you there. They want reparation.
Of horror.
He thinks he needs to kill the monster.
Now, your most terrifying nightmare and your most frightening reality are about to meet on the streets.
And this is a trip, homie. I don't need nothing from no house of dead folks, okay?
Death. It comes in many strange packages.
The producer of Menace to Society and executive producer Spike Lee will take you to the outer limits of the inner city.
Welcome to hell!
Tales from the hood. Chew. Or be chewed.
Hey, man, I don't need to be hearing this, man.
Written and produced by Darren Scott. Written and directed by Rusty Cunda.
Tales from the Hood is a horror anthology movie, and we all know too well how horror anthologies are a whole genre in themselves. And this one is ranked 31 because what it is doing is so absolutely clever. You see, Tales from the Hood takes some of the real horrors and the inherited traumas of the Black experience and campifies it through the medium of horror. And the final result of towing that line is always fascinating. Eddie Murphy was perfectly positioned to try something similar, but he flubbed it. And the gaping difference between Vampire in Brooklyn and Tales from the Hood is that the former does not have the horror in it, really, and the latter draws from the IRL horrifying things. I'm pretty sure the line between Tales from the Hood and Get Out is a straight diagonal.
I feel really weird tonight. Like something's gonna happen.
Me too.
What's your name anyway?
Xavier.
Is it cool if I just call you X?
There's something evil about him.
That'll be 666. Wake up, girlie.
What are you gonna do, shoot us? Scram! Did I ask you to do us any big favors, huh?
Well, pardon me for rescuing your ingrained ass.
The suspects appear to be heading north.
I hope we die simultaneously. Like a nuclear bomb blast or something.
You're so romantic.
You're, giving me an erection.
666.
Have either of you ever had sex with an animal?
Just you.
Should be considered armed and dangerous.
scares me, Jordan.
Have you ever done that?
Like, had sex with two people at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Don't.
I love you, darling.
You said you love me?
You know that I really only love you.
I love you! I love you can mean a lot of things.
Yes, the Doom Generation. Is it horror? Is it a road trip movie? Is it an erotic thriller? All three of these answers could end up being yes in this Rank 29 Greg Araki special. This movie right here aged like a fine wine. 1995 was not ready for this one. It's the middle of the Apocalypse trilogy, and it's a visual marvel, a playful parody of the concept of America, a meditation on the adolescent impulse to debauch. It's like that. It's like that.
You absolutely mad.
The riots began because the stores could not meet the demands of Sutter Kane's novel, In the Mouth of Madness.
Kane disappeared 2 months ago without a trace.
He's the guy that writes horror books.
You can forget about Stephen King. Kane outsells them all. I need to know if he's alive or dead, and I need that book.
It's a setup. I just have to work out how it's set up.
Kane's writing has been known to have an effect on his readers.
See this? It's a map. This whole thing has been staged.
You just get out.
This is not reality.
It's all happening for real, Trent.
Hope so. The movie comes out next month.
John Carpenter really was quite the dude. Like, if I recall correctly, In the Mouth of Madness was like the last big boy capital M movie of the man's career, and he sat there and went, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a Rank 18 spectacular. And do you know what the horror is going to be? Fiction itself. Of course, this movie has the super cool Carpenter practical effects, and my goodness, it's also such an exploration of the corruption of fame and the idea of fiction and belief just being shoved together to become a horror show is just, man, it's great, and it's elegant too.
Nice night. Look at me and tell me to go away. Don't ask. Tell me. Please. You think that's gonna stop me?
I haven't been feeling well. You're not kidding, you don't look so good.
Dependency is a marvelous thing. It does more for the soul than any formulation of doctoral material.
You can never get enough, can you? But you learn to control it. You learn, like the Tibetans, to survive on a little.
There is a dual nature to the addiction. It satisfies the hunger, which evil engenders. But it also dulls our perception, so we are helped to forget how ill we really are. We drink to escape the fact we're alcoholics. We're not evil because of the evil we do, but we do evil because we are evil.
Would you like to confess?
God, forgive me.
Okay, now this one right here is my highest ranked horror movie of 1995 so far. It's a vampire movie, but it's a black and white philosophical rumination on the nature of human evil vampire movie. This rank number 12 movie unsettled me. I was shook. I literally had to take a freaking walk and look at the stars after watching it. It's one of those movies where the experience is so viscerally depressing by design that I have no idea who I would even recommend it to. It's the kind of horror that got to me in a way that makes me not want to recommend it casually to like anyone. And if the genre is horror, that might be a very high compliment indeed. Because it's different from the kind of, oh, I won't recommend it because it's too bloody. It's like, no, I won't recommend this because it got me. And that's what horror is all about. And that's it. Done. We made it. We made it. Every horror movie I've seen and ranked from the year I was born so far. Here are some clips from several of the ones that I didn't include but are on the edge, you know. Might be horror, might not be.
Good, the sons of bitches are getting a taste.
That last one seemed closer.
No, it's not holding them back. They're coming through. No, man. You can hear them. Listen, they're eating it, man.
It's impossible. The whole sublevel is wired. There's no way that they could get through.
Some souls choose to only live for a short time, Hatch. Hold these. Think of 2 questions. Keep one to yourself and tell me the other one.
Okay. Why am I having these visions?
You're tied to them by a coincidence of fate. You crossed over. You brought something back with you.
What?
Something very powerful. The one from your visions? He knows you watch him.
And we are done. We are like a burnt steak. Donezo, yo. Super done. Like my bell. Subscribe to my comments. Next time, I think I'm gonna talk teen movies. I might even get more specific and just do teen raunch comedies. We'll see, but I do remember making that promise.